Welcome to the Top Business Leaders Show, powered by Rise 25 Media. We feature top founders, executives, and business leaders from all over the world.
Chad Franzen here, co-host for this show where we feature top restaurateurs, investors, and business leaders. This is part of our SpotOn series. SpotOn has the best-in-class payment platform for retail, and they have a flagship solution called SpotOn Restaurant, where they combine marketing, software, and payments all in one. They've served everyone from larger chains like Dairy Queen and Subway to small mom-and-pop restaurants. To learn more, go to SpotOn.com. This episode is brought to you by Rise 25. We help B2B businesses to get ROI, clients, referrals, and strategic partnerships through Done For You podcasts. If you have a B2B business and want to build great relationships with clients, referral partners, and thought leaders in your space, there's no better way to do it than through podcasts and content marketing. To learn more, go to rise25.com or email us at support@rise25.com. In 2006, Mehdi Zarhloul moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, where he opened Crazy Pita Rotisserie and Grill. Crazy Pita has been rocketing to popularity and cemented as Las Vegas's favorite eatery for over 17 years due to its amazing fresh, casual Mediterranean cuisine, friendly service, and welcoming atmosphere. Crazy Pita's menu selection includes signature dishes that are both tasty and healthy. In 2022, Mehdi decided to expand his vision by developing a national franchise program. Currently, the company operates 3 corporate locations in Las Vegas, and 10 stores are under development in the Houston, Texas area. Mehdi, it's great to talk to you today. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me, Chad.
Great to have you here. Hey, why don't we get started by talking a little bit more about Crazy Pita? What inspired you to open it in Las Vegas, I don't know, about 17 years ago?
Yes. The idea came, but I gotta give you a little background. I mean,
Okay.
just not to jump into the story. Prior to Crazy Pita, I used to work for Four Seasons Hotels, and I was lucky enough to travel and open restaurants throughout the world. And one of the areas where I was assigned to was the Middle East. So I was always enjoying great Middle Eastern food, enjoying great pita sandwiches, um, learning about the culture, from where the root, where it started. I'm originally from Casablanca, Morocco, so the language was a bonus for me to travel to Egypt and Saudi Arabia and Dubai and all those countries. And upon my return, I was home based in Los Angeles. I, you know, I wanted, usually on my day off when I go around and I enjoy this, the weather of LA, and I wanted some good Mediterranean food. I wanted something that is quick. You don't have to go to a full service and sit down the 2, 3 hours dinner. As you know, as from the Middle East, there is no dinner that is like 5 minutes. So because we adapted to the culture here, I wanted something that is good and tasty and flavorful, just like I have it back home. Most of the Mediterranean restaurants then there were a lot of mom and pops, right? And the food was just like from each uh, the owners toward the country that they're from. So I used to remember my days off, in the industry are usually Mondays and Tuesdays. So I go around and I just couldn't find what I wanted. And I was driving with a friend of mine who was visiting me from London. He was in the industry as well. And I told him, I really need a good pita. I'm going to go open my own pita shop. And he looked at me and he goes, "You're so crazy to leave your job and open a pita." And what he said, those words, we both kind of said at the same time, let's call it Crazy Pita. And that's where the name originated. That's where it began. I went the next day. I went to my boss. I gave him my 3 weeks notice, and the rest, here I am. I moved to Las Vegas. I think my notice was in November. I found a space in February. I opened August 16, 2006. 17 years, about 2 months ago.
Wow,
So that's where it began.
Yeah, that is quite a story. Thanks for sharing that. I was going to ask you how you came up with the name Crazy Pita. So you took a very bold move, very bold step to quit a job with kind of guaranteed income, for lack of a better word, and start your own thing. What were the early days like there, getting everything rolling?
Well, with all my experience that I had, I mean, when you go to, like, for example, when you go open a Four Season hotel and you have five, six outlets, so it's, it becomes part of you just to open restaurants. And then when I opened mine, it was a bit challenging in the beginning because when you work for a bigger company that has all the finances behind them, you come in and you say, I want a coffee machine here, and a week later it magically appears, right? You don't understand the logistics behind it. There is piping, there is water, there is so many things. And here you have to learn those yourself and you have to kind of pay for every single one. So fortunately, it was from the construction side. We managed to open it within 3 months. We opened our doors. We kind of the recipes. We kind of worked them in. I didn't. I cooked them at home. We didn't have a kitchen, but with my experience, we knew what they were gonna taste. You have there is a science to cooking as a chef. The bell peppers they go with the chicken. The olives go with the steak. Certain ingredients that I assembled, and they're still today the same pita sandwiches that I've designed, and the place that I've designed, which my core business that made me successful today, we are still having them,
Did
although we have evolved a little bit more and we introduced some new like the bowls just came in just recently within the last 6 7 years where everybody wanted a bowl, so we introduced those, the salads, the mixed greens, the new leaves, the fresh, so we introduced a little bit of avocado salads. You kind of We have evolved the menu a little bit, but our core items have stayed the same. We managed to keep it as consistent as it can be. So,
I have not been to Morocco. Is this part of the standard kind of cuisine or fare in Morocco, or did you kind of become really familiar with this while you were working in the Middle East?
well, the core items, like I mentioned, they're part of Moroccan. I use Moroccan spices,
Mhm.
Moroccan flavors, and I kind of pick the spices that are. When I opened my business, I kept in mind consistency, and I wanted to use the spices that are available not only here in the United States but available globally, knowing that one day we're gonna reach that that time and we're gonna need. So I picked ingredients and menu items that you can find all over the world. And we succeeded at it. Like, for example, I use the things that I grill, the grill side, the chicken, the steak, the lamb, those things takes about 5 to 8 minutes to cook. So I needed something to be a little bit fast casual while you have only minimal amount of personnel working in the kitchen, like a hot on the grill and the cold side. So two people, one assembles the plate and one puts the grill on top, and only one person doing the prep. So you can have a three shift operation running the whole restaurant.
Is there
So
one maybe primary part of your prior experience that really benefited you? Like, we wouldn't be here today if I didn't know this from the things you were doing prior to opening Crazy Pita.
well, of course, yes. Everything you learn as you go along. And the good thing about as restaurateurs is you evolve. So whatever you learn today, 2 years from now something gonna happen and you have to switch years and learn something new. But yes, your past experience does help. It does help big time on what you do, especially when a small restaurants like us, we're small mom and pops. You cannot have the luxury to have five people in the kitchen, right? Because that's money coming from your pocket. You have to pay your mortgage at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So you learn those things. The good thing about what I admire about most restaurateurs is we are good at defense, right? Defense, there's always something. You learn how to save money when you labor, hours, food. That's the things that we are great at. And when you have it's your own money, you are forced to do it because at the end of the day, you have to make a profit and you have to pay your bills, and that's what most of us go into the business because we're passionate. That's what we do. But at the same time, we're in the business to make money.
What would you say sets Crazy Pita apart from other Mediterranean eateries?
A lot of things sets me apart. Um, my menu, for example, I use unique recipes that are to me, from North Africa, that they're very, the recipes that I designed, I made sure that we can cater them to the American palate and also to the Middle Eastern as well. So I picked certain items that are unique to me and are easy and simple to make and duplicate, and they're acceptable in any community we do. Either you're in Los Angeles, or you're in Oklahoma, or you're in New York, or even if you can, even in London or Sweden, they are acceptable. Uh, the services that I provide, it's um, it's all based on connection, right? It's all about the person and the owner who you are. I'm a people person. I went to school to study computer science. When I was in Washington, D.C., I learned few things about computer science, few things about programming. I didn't enjoy working me and the device in front of me. You know, there was no Zoom then. You couldn't talk to people. I'm a person people, so I learned from an early age as I came to this country. I was at the age of 15, connection with the people, talking to people. That's how you're gonna succeed. That's how you're gonna move forward. That's you meet with people who are smarter than you, who are intelligent than you, and that's what my life has taken me so far to today, and still continue to do so. It's always there is that next thing. What's the next move? Um, yeah.
As I mentioned, you have three corporate locations in Las Vegas with 10 more on the way in Texas. In terms of the three that you have, how do you kind of manage to maintain the standard of food quality that you developed and the service quality among different locations beyond just one?
Well, it's all, when you build a concept, my experience came with my background with the big national chains, is you want to be consistency. And I watched what I learned. I created my spices and I created techniques for anyone that can come and make the same chicken skewers that I make in location A, can make it in location B or C, and so on. And so far, we've been very successful at it. It's all about having systems in place. It's all about having processes. Um, so we kind of seem to have um, we kind of grasp it before we decided we're going to go out there and franchise. We had to put certain matters. We had to have a checklist where we have. I go with the five. I have a 5 points checklist that I go by before I move on to the next location. And they're very simple. And one is the simplicity of the system, right? How you're, sure, my menu, my menu today. I have a supervisor from my new location, Sugarland here, and his first day was like he looked at my menu, goes, "Oh my God, you have pita, salad, this." He was kind of, but his first day, like, "Oh my God, this is so simple. I can easily duplicate it." So simplicity of the system is number one, from the front of house and back of house, and you have to have this all in place. Um, the labor and control, you want to make sure you have your labor are well trained, and their inventory systems in place. So you have I have a great inventory system that I use 4 years ago, before all this technology, right? Well, I have only two fridges, one for my vegetables, one of my meat. When you
Hmm.
place an order, I know how many cases you're gonna bring. If you order more than 3 cases, I will get alerted. I will know what are you gonna put it, right? And I buy a case. I'm just throwing a number. If I buy a case for $100, before you order the next case, I want to see $1,000 in my cash register. These are small little indicators. As an operator, you learn by experience. Or if you buy 5 cases of chicken, but you're only selling you know, one half a case of sodas, you know there is something wrong. Those are the things that I can put together and we can notice. But for a new franchisee, we have to put all that for them in a system where it'd be easier for them to look and and kind of detect if there is any issues or anything wrong. That's what the inventory system at the end of the day
Mhm.
is designed for, to do, to not overstock and to don't shorten yourself with products.
Yeah, I'm sure having all those systems in place are very, very valuable to you, especially now that you're kind of branching out. You're more than branching out. You have branched out into a national franchise program. What kind of led you to go in that direction?
Well, many reasons. One, I wanted to create a legacy, right? I want to move from a lifestyle to create a legacy and kind of see my company growth, um, and see it thrive in different globe and different part of the United States first. Um, I wanted to do it. One, they upgrade me to a first class, and they showed me what first class looks like. I'm
Mhm.
like, wow, this is great. One pita restaurant is not going to make it. We need to open a few more. But demand, actually, one of them is the demand. I got a lot of people that ask me to bring Crazy Pita to them, to their territories, to where they live. As here in Vegas, a lot of people move out, a lot of their transition. So they move and they always call me, Mehdi, come and open one for us. So from the demand side, we know it exists. There is, and plus, I want to see Crazy Pita thriving in many markets. I want to offer my experience and my food to others. I like to, um, the one of the things that sets me apart earlier is the connection, and we believe in kindness. I'm not only promoting my food, but I'm also promoting kindness to every community that we do. Uh, and that's what we're strong in. My system is designed based on kindness, like the Be Kind. We run a foundation for quite a long time, and we want to take that with us. So we're not just promoting only the food. Nowadays you can get food anywhere, but when to see somebody as a restaurant, somebody who's enjoying your food with kindness, and somebody who's taken pride of his job that is cooking it for him, or the server serving it to them, and that's what makes me happy. That's why I wake up every day, right? That's my goal. The money will come later. It will automatically shows up. Um, so that's one of the main reasons I do this. I tried to go become a doctor. It's a little too late, or an architect or an engineer. I'm not smart enough. Um, but that's we went ahead and we set up all the system from the technology side. We do our economics are great. Our first franchisee that I've known for a while has been my customer. He has we knew each other, and when he wanted to go in his own venture, he called upon and he said, "I want." We were lucky that he signed for 10 units in Sugarland. So who I was planning to sell 10 units within 3 years. My first is has 10 units. So we're gonna focus now on opening the first one next the first week of November. We have so many things in line. It's gonna be in Sugarland, Texas. So many things happening for that area. Maybe we'll do a barbecue pita, or it's so the possibilities are, and they're infinite. You can do so much to enter that community. And so far, before opening, we've been welcomed with open arms from the neighbors, and we're looking forward to do business with them, and be part of their family. Connection, connection, connection. We seem to establish that, and we're gonna repeat it. We are known for our hospitality, and that's the kind of business that we do. Coming from having a background, every deal you make is around the table. Every discussion you have is around the table. So the food you serve better be good.
Yeah.
If you want to
So
break a deal,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. So you have you have one franchisee who's opening 10 locations. That's obviously huge, especially for your first your first franchisee, as you mentioned. Um, that's a big undertaking, but eventually I'm sure you'll start to look for more franchisees. What are the kinds of things you look for? Maybe who would make a good franchisee?
Well, we look for business savvy experience. That's the number one. And then we look at their financials. They have to be, it's not easy anymore, just to go ahead and, open a restaurants. The prices, and there is more than just having it. We look for somebody who understands the business. We prefer somebody who's been in business, somebody who already have management in place. Um, Not that I'm saying we won't go to first timer, but if it's in a small town, yes, we will look at somebody with the first time, but we can have the time to coach them and teach them. But it makes it easier at my stage of growth.
Mhm.
It's to find a multi-unit to do at least a 5 to 10 units in one big city. And if there were existing operators for a bigger company already, that's great because they understand the business side of the restaurateur. Or if they have also a management in place, that makes things a lot easier. So we both can benefit. And they work with us on growing Crazy Pita to take it to another level, because at the end of the day it's your people around you who's going to make it grow and thrive. So we're very careful selecting who we do business with. We can't just go ahead and give the key to anybody that walks in. They gotta be part of our vision, and work and strive hard to make it successful. That's the goal, and that's the plan.
Are there
And,
some
and
ways that
hopefully,
Crazy Pita utilizes technology, maybe that other restaurants don't, to kind of enhance the customer experience?
yes, technology, like I said, right after COVID, things have changed.
Hmm.
Things were different before COVID, and then I always say, before COVID, you open your door, you have your coffee, you look at the sky, you can tell what your day is going to be by the weather. Right now, weather plays a big factor. Well, nowadays you have to open your computer and see how many digital things are going around, your screen, and you're looking at numbers. And um, the last 2 years, I spent a big amount of time building an ecosystem for Crazy Pita. I do it with a lot of help with my friends that I met the last 3 4 years, and the people that I know in the industry. And we created an ecosystem that works on its own. It's more like I feel it that it's alive. Like, it's more like we designed an AI that it just work from guest acquisition all the way to the retention, to an employee being onboarded with you, and their phase, either they're with you for a year, 2 years, or a long time. You can see it and feel it. And I kind of manage without me being in every location. I'm able to be there, just as my laptop, like I'm talking to you right now, and I can see everything that is happening. So the main thing I always say to anybody that starts this business is your POS system. Your POS is your core of, everything goes through there. Every number goes through there. Every employee goes through there. Every customer goes through there. And and the things you integrate and you connect with it, from the third parties, aggregators, or the deliveries, to the loyalty program, uh, to the way you connect with your customers. For example, we use it to we look what our customers are ordering, right, and who orders what, and we want to go back to them and promote them. If you have a guy who loves chicken pita, there is no reason to send him a steak pita as an advertisement, right? Doesn't make sense. We keep sending them about chickens, and we connect with from the new customer to our existing customers. How do you keep your existing? And this is, I always tell all the marketers out there, a lot of agencies out there that approach you, hey, I can grow your business from 10 to 15%, right? Uh, and they do it for a short period of time. Well, then how do you get that 15% to the next 15%? So, and that's the part that's a lot of restaurateurs, that's why we kind of retention, keep those existing customers. So like marketing has multi-facets and multi-ways how we do market, from uh, bringing them to the first time, to the in-house marketing, to the way we keep them coming back. And then we use so many tools like texting and email blast and QR codes and indoor, and we try to be in their mailboxes. My always think, whatever their guess is, whatever they open their mail, either in a computer or their home mailbox, I want to be there. Or in their work mailbox, I want to be there. I want to be there with them. Crazy Pita every time they open it. In their Facebook, in their Instagram, in their TikTok. I do TikTok now, Chad. Can you believe it? They're
Wow.
making me do things. But you know what? I love it. It helps me communicate with thousands of my guests directly. I want them to know what I do every day, what kind of promotions I do, what's coming up. So this way they hear it from me. I'm not your traditional tie and suit CEO. I like to be in the front. I like to be with my guests. I like to be with my employees. Technology helped the C-suite can simplify for me the C-suite levels. At my stage, I cannot afford so many um, C-level personnel, but I can do it with technology. And so far, it's been working. It's allowing me, I'm learning to open different stores in different markets. And so far, we're about to open, and the technology has helped me evaluate all that process. And now I'm looking, of course, we're documenting every single thing. And I had to go to Sugarland only a couple times, but throughout the 6 month process, I'm doing everything from my laptop. So imagine, and without spending a lot of labor, you know, doing it. As we
Mhm.
grow, we will add more people, but as of for now, I still can handle and manage with the personnel that I have in house and all the other subcontractors that work with me.
So you have all kinds of things going on now. You're very adaptable, always kind of learning and trying new things. If you have a vision for the next 5 years, what might that look like?
Well, I tell you what I want. I always, every time somebody asks me a question, I like to go big. If I have next 5 years, I want to have number of Crazy Pita signs on the book and the number as many as open. Ideally, I would love to see over hundreds locations open or more within the next 5 years. I would love to see 500. I have bigger goals. I have bigger plan. Um, I would love to see Crazy Pita going global. Uh, but again, before you get there, you have to open number one, number two, number three, number four. And we are not going to rush to it. We're going to do everything as it's perfect as possible before we move to the next level. My job is to protect, as a CEO or anybody as CEO, is to protect your asset and what you have. And then you look at the growth,
Mhm.
either organically or when the opportunity presents itself, we're going to measure it and weight it, So, and there's plenty. The good thing is everybody eats, right?
Yeah,
My best customer, if you have teeth, you are my customer.
very
uh,
nice.
the areas of growth, we weigh them as the opportunity before we look at the channels that are here on the West Coast side. We are looking at other Eastern Coast channels that can be open doorways. We like to hit all the cornerstone of the state. So this way, kind of create a grid that that can help us succeed and can help us flourish in the future. Um, yeah, but that's the plan.
Sounds great. I have one more question for you, but first, let me know how people can find out more. You said you're on TikTok. How else can people find out about Crazy
Crazy
Pita?
Pita, you just Google Crazy Pita, you go to my website, you find links to Sorry about this. Oops. Sorry.
That's all right.
You can go to LinkedIn and my name Mehdi Zarhloul, or you can go to Facebook, Crazy Pita, at Crazy Pita on Instagram. I try to be as many channels as I can myself, but we have a great team that keeps updated with all what we do online.
Great. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question for you. You developed the menu, but when you go to Crazy Pita as a customer, do you have kind of like a go-to item of choice or meal of choice?
Yes, well, the chicken is very popular. I personally love the chicken skewer plate and the chicken pita. We use we use a home cooked meal, a warm plate. That's the that's the dish. We use couscous with vegetables, with butternut squash and zucchini. Nobody does that. Nobody does it from coast to coast. And even in my hometown, my country, Morocco, Casablanca, we do it only on Fridays. Here at Crazy Pita, I do it every day. And we kind of developed a process that we can do it so and we can make it happen. It's a home cooked meal. A lot of people use it to take out for our takeouts. That's what we wanted to provide, and that's what I enjoy eating. It meets all the healthy the pyramids, from your legumes and carbs and proteins. It's all there for you, and yeah, that's my
Sounds
go-to meal. Yeah.
sounds fantastic. Hey, Mehdi, it's been great to talk to you today. Thank you so much for your time and all your insights, your great story, and best of luck in the future. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chad, for having me. Have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thanks. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Top Business Leaders Show, powered by Rise 25. Visit rise25.com to check out more episodes of the show and to learn more about how you can start your own podcast.